Hey everyone, welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News. What I'm about to share with you today could be one of the biggest updates we've ever covered on this channel. For years, we've heard talk, predictions, and endless rumors about the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Many have waited, doubted, and even lost hope that it would ever happen. But something major has changed. In fact, right now, all indicators are pointing to one clear message. Iraq is in the final stage. A 60-day window has reportedly opened, and inside that window, something historic may unfold. So, stay tuned because in this video we're breaking down what's really happening, why the next 2 months could change everything, and what this means for anyone holding dinar. You'll want to stay with me until the end because the pieces coming together right now are unlike anything we've seen before. This could truly be the moment we've all been waiting for. Across Iraq, new financial activity is creating a wave of anticipation. Over the last few weeks, multiple government and banking institutions have begun implementing systems designed for international transactions. Reports indicate that Iraq's Central Financial Authority has completed its integration with major global banking platforms. This means that for the first time in decades, Iraqi banks can process digital international payments in real time. This alone marks a massive step toward global currency recognition. But here's the real kicker: these upgrades are not random. They are timed strategically to align with Iraq's new fiscal year, which begins in early 2025. Analysts believe this timing is no coincidence. If Iraq truly intends to revalue its currency, launching it alongside the new fiscal cycle makes perfect sense. It would allow the government to roll out its updated budget and exchange rate together, marking the beginning of a brand new economic era for the nation. Now, let's talk about why this 60-day countdown matters. For years, Iraq has been working through a complex web of reforms, digital upgrades, and anti-corruption programs. Many times before, experts claimed the process was almost complete, but something was always missing. Either international compliance wasn't in place or the banking systems weren't ready, but now, every sign suggests that the puzzle is finally complete. Iraq has reportedly finished all required monetary reforms and linked its digital systems with international networks. The country's central authority has been testing exchange systems internally, ensuring that once the new rate goes live, the transition will be smooth and stable. The word circulating in financial circles is that Iraq's budget for 2025 already assumes a higher value for the dinar. In other words, the revaluation may have been quietly built into the plan, just waiting for an official announcement. Here's where things get even more interesting. Observers have noticed that banks in multiple countries have begun testing rates connected to the dinar. Some of these rates appear only on internal systems, not publicly available screens. These are often referred to as placeholder or test rates, but the timing of these appearances has caught everyone's attention. You don't perform system tests like that for no reason. Banks test live rates when activation is near. Combined with the new international banking connections Iraq has established, these tests could indicate that global financial systems are preparing for Iraq's currency to go active on the world stage. If true, it means that the gears are already turning behind the scenes, and we're closer than ever to a full revaluation. The Iraqi government has also been making bold public statements lately, signaling confidence in the nation's financial transformation. High-ranking officials have spoken about the completion of economic reforms and their readiness to reflect Iraq's true financial value. These statements, though subtle, carry tremendous meaning. When government and central bank leaders begin using language that points toward international parity, it often means that significant currency adjustments are underway. The country's prime minister has spoken about launching Iraq's next fiscal phase with stronger financial foundations. Meanwhile, the central bank governor has repeatedly emphasized that Iraq's currency will soon take its rightful place in the global economy. These are not random words, they're indicators of readiness, hints that the official announcement could be close. But let's break down what final stage really means. For Iraq, reaching this point required years of preparation. The nation had to clean up its banking systems, eliminate corruption, modernize transaction technology, and align with international standards. Every step was monitored and verified by international financial organizations. This process took longer than expected, but the result is worth it: a transparent, modern financial structure that can support a globally recognized currency. The last phase, according to insiders, involves syncing final rate data across international systems and confirming digital banking compliance. Once these steps are complete, all that's left is the public reveal. Many believe this is exactly where Iraq stands today, at the edge of activation, with only the timing of the announcement remaining. If you've followed the dinar story for years, you know that timing is everything. Iraq has faced countless delays in the past, from political conflicts to logistical setbacks. But 2025 is different. The global economic landscape has shifted, digital banking has become the new norm, and Iraq's integration with major financial systems like SWIFT and international banking platforms now allows for seamless global transfers. This means Iraq is not just talking about modernization, it's living it. The country is positioning itself to handle international trade, energy contracts, and foreign investment at a much higher financial level. When a nation reaches that kind of readiness, the next logical step is to revalue its currency to match its true market potential. Here's something you might not have heard elsewhere. Recently, reports from within Iraq indicate that the government's 2025 budget includes projections and contracts calculated at a new exchange rate, not the old one. That means Iraq's financial planners are already working with a revalued number internally. Think about that for a moment. If the new budget is designed around a stronger dinar, then logically the public announcement of that new rate must happen before or as the new fiscal year begins, otherwise the numbers wouldn't align. This is one of the strongest clues yet that the revaluation process is real and active. The government is not planning for if, it's planning for when. As of now, digital infrastructure testing is taking place across multiple Iraqi banks. Internal systems are reportedly being calibrated to handle the new rate, ensuring that once the change goes live, transactions won't be disrupted. The goal is stability and trust. Iraq wants to show the world that its financial system can handle a revalued currency without chaos. To make that happen, they've partnered with global financial institutions to oversee the testing and implementation phases. This kind of coordination doesn't happen for rumors, it happens for real-world rollouts. And that's why this 60-day timeline has become such a focal point. Everything is lining up exactly when it needs to. Now, let's discuss the reasoning behind the 2-month timeline. Iraq's fiscal calendar begins in January, and historically, major economic changes often align with the start of a new fiscal year. This allows governments to balance new budgets, implement rate changes, and introduce reforms all at once. If Iraq is truly planning to unveil a new rate, early January is the perfect time to do it. That gives the nation November and December to finalize testing, update systems, and prepare for the official transition. Many financial watchers believe the new rate announcement could appear within that window, either as part of the national budget or through an official central bank release. Either way, the countdown has clearly begun. This brings us to a crucial point: international cooperation. Iraq is not working alone in this process. It's been collaborating closely with major global institutions to ensure full compliance and transparency. These partnerships have focused on preventing corruption, tracking transactions, and verifying assets. The goal is to make sure that once the new rate becomes active, it remains stable and respected in the global market. By demonstrating accountability and compliance, Iraq is proving it can sustain a higher value currency long term. This kind of verification process takes time, but it also ensures confidence once the revaluation occurs. Within Iraq, the shift is already visible. Local media have been reporting more openly about digital banking, new financial reforms, and the country's growing ability to trade internationally. Citizens are noticing the changes too, with easier access to digital payments and improved financial services. These may seem like small developments, but they're actually part of a much larger picture. Iraq is quietly transforming into a modern economy capable of handling international demand. Once its currency reflects that true capacity, the revaluation will not just be symbolic, it will be functional. The country will finally be able to operate on equal footing with other nations in trade and finance. For those holding dinar, this moment could be life-changing. A revaluation of the currency would mean a significant increase in value for existing holders. Even a modest rate adjustment could create massive financial shifts worldwide. However, it's important to stay realistic and grounded. The process must still go through official channels. No one should engage in premature exchanges or private offers until the rate is formally announced by the central authority. When it happens, legitimate banks and financial institutions will handle conversion safely and securely. Patience and preparation are key right now. The opportunity could be extraordinary, but so is the need for caution. Let's take a closer look at what might happen step by step in these next 2 months. November could see the completion of internal rate testing and confirmation of the new fiscal data. December might bring the public approval of Iraq's budget, potentially revealing the new exchange rate in official documentation. And then, as January arrives, Iraq could officially launch its revalued currency alongside the start of the new fiscal year. This pattern makes sense both financially and politically. It ensures a smooth, organized transition with full backing from global partners. That's why this 60-day period is being watched so closely. It could hold the key to Iraq's financial rebirth. Now let's talk about why 2025 could be the perfect year for Iraq's new beginning. Global oil prices are stabilizing, digital economies are expanding, and Iraq's infrastructure projects are gaining momentum. The timing couldn't be better for a revaluation. Iraq's natural resources give it a strong foundation, but it's the country's modern reforms that make a revaluation sustainable. By combining fiscal discipline with global integration, Iraq is preparing to step into a stronger, more independent role in international markets. The revaluation isn't just about raising the currency's value, it's about redefining Iraq's position in the world economy. There's also a psychological shift happening inside Iraq. After years of instability, people are starting to believe in their economy again. Businesses are expanding, investors are showing interest, and local banks are reporting increased participation from the private sector. Confidence is returning, and that's one of the strongest indicators that a major financial event is near. A nation's currency reflects its economic health, and Iraq's steady improvement suggests that the time for an upgrade has come. Once the announcement is made, it won't just be about numbers on a screen. It will mark the beginning of a new chapter for millions of people who have been waiting for progress and stability. So where do we go from here? The best advice for anyone watching this countdown is simple: stay informed and stay patient. Keep an eye on official statements, financial publications, and verified central bank communications. If Iraq's new exchange rate is truly scheduled within this 60-day window, the news will spread quickly through formal channels. When it happens, the world's financial markets will take notice, and the dinar will finally claim its new standing. Until then, preparation is key. Organize your documents, keep your currency safe, and avoid speculation-driven panic. Smart decisions now will pay off later. At this point, it's clear that Iraq's economic transformation is no longer a theory, it's a process in motion. The signs are all around us. Digital upgrades, global partnerships, internal testing, and official hints from top leaders. Every piece points toward a country on the verge of change. The only question left is when the public announcement will arrive. Whether it's days or weeks away, one thing is certain: Iraq has never been closer to achieving a revalued, globally recognized currency. This isn't about hype anymore, it's about readiness, timing, and precision. To wrap this up, let's take a step back and see the bigger picture. For nearly 2 decades, Iraq has been rebuilding its identity, politically, socially, and financially. The journey has been long, but now, in 2025, the nation stands ready to step onto the global stage with confidence. A 60-day countdown isn't just a number, it represents years of effort coming full circle. If everything aligns as expected, we could be witnessing one of the most significant currency events of this century. So, stay tuned, stay alert, and remember, patience is not waiting, it's preparing. The finish line is in sight, and history could soon be written before our eyes.